Right, so here we have James Cameron, director of The Terminator, director of Titanic and Avatar, and a few other movies that I've never even watched, is the latest Hollywood one-time alpha that has now turned in his man card and has gone full beta male in his latest interview, where he, James Cameron himself, calls testosterone a poison. Thank you, Dr. Cameron. I didn't know he had a doctorate degree. I thought he just made movies. Dr. Cameron here says testosterone here is a poison and you need to get it out of your system. You mean the same testosterone that helps men, plays an important role in the body of men to regulate our sex drive, bone mass, fat distribution, muscle mass, and strength, and the production of red blood cells and sperm. Not only that, but it also helps us in our development from young boys to becoming adults, right? It helps us maintain a healthy mindset, mental stability, and it keeps us from going crazy on people and using our strength in evil and destructive ways, which we can easily do if we wanted to. I don't think men are given enough credit for how much restraint we use when it comes to what we're capable of, right? I mean, let's face it. That is Cash snoring, by the way. If we really wanted to, we could literally throw somebody out of a window if we really wanted to. We have the ability to do that. But for a lot of us guys, we do exercise strength and restraint. And the guys who do things like that, who act out violently, who tend to get out of hand and become violent criminals in society, Mr. Cameron, those are usually guys who lack testosterone and have too much estrogen pumping through their veins. Guys who are being ruled by their emotions. Guys who are stuck in their feminine frame. Why? Because they were raised by women. Because they didn't have enough male role models around to teach them discipline and restraint. They didn't have strong father figures, right? They didn't have any father figure in the house. They didn't have anybody to teach them masculinity, which you are labeling as a poison that you need to get out of your system. So if we were to follow this movie guy's advice, we would just have more muggers, carjackers, and robbers and rapists roaming the streets and freely acting out. So this is why you don't want to listen to any of these woke fools in Hollywood. I don't care how much money this guy has. Obviously he has too much money at this point, because it gets to a point where you have too much success, you have it so good that you just turn on yourself and you self-destruct. That's just human nature, and we are watching it play out with Mr. Cameron here. But let's read what he has to say in his article. Academy Award-winning filmmaker James Cameron sat down with The Hollywood Reporter this week to discuss his humongous financial investment in the Avatar film series. I've never watched it, by the way. Okay, I've never watched this. Even the first one when it came out, I don't know. It's almost like some of us just have a sixth sense, and I definitely have this. When a movie comes out, I don't care how much my friends are touting it. And I remember a lot of my friends back in the day, the first Avatar came out, they're like, "Bro, gotta see this movie, man. Gotta see Avatar." And I'm like, "The one with all those blue figurines? Yeah, man. Ooh, good movie, bro." And I was like, there's something about this movie that doesn't feel right with me. I'm just not interested in watching it. And I never watched it, right? Because I felt like, even back then, I was like, there's something woke about this. I didn't even know what that word was yet, but I was like, yeah, there's something about this movie that I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. And sure enough, I was pretty right. So he goes on to say, he recounted his wild, younger days on set, including some of his more expletive-ridden altercations with executives in the past. While contemplating his growth and evolution as an artist, the Titanic director quipped, "A lot of things I did earlier I wouldn't do career-wise, and just risks that you take as a wild testosterone-poised young man. I always think of testosterone as a toxin that you have to slowly work out of your system." Again, Dr. Cameron, if you just go and research, you could go on the most leftist site like Google and research the benefits of testosterone and the the importance of testosterone, and more importantly, the dangers of not having enough testosterone or unhealthy levels of testosterone, what that will do to you as a man, as a boy, what it will do to society. I think you'll quickly realize that you're out of your fricking Terminator making mind here. He says, while it seems at a glance that James Cameron's comment was perhaps designed to come out of the closet as a trans woman, I wouldn't be surprised at this point, it becomes clear that this is actually a tongue-in-cheek reference to a culture of toxic masculinity that plagues the film industry. News stories have bombarded the tabloids for years now about claims of inappropriate workplace behavior from directors and executives in Hollywood. This ranges from sexual harassment cases such as Harvey Weinstein to abusive language and emotional battering in cases such as Joss Whedon. Who's that? I don't even know what that one's about. I don't care. Okay, here goes a photo of the latest Avatar, which is even more woke than the first one. Ugh, more diverse, more female leads. And all these characters are blue. I don't get it. I don't care. This just looks ridiculous to me. Cameron doesn't make it a point to specifically name check anyone in particular, but simply references the fact that as a young man, he himself was operating at a more volatile resting pace than he's particularly proud of, with James Cameron's next billion-dollar outing, Avatar: The Way of Water, premiering just around the corner. Let me guess, in this movie, does it have something to do with climate change, or, the white man taking over somebody's land, or, enslaving people? Let me guess, right? Is it something like that? I don't even know. I don't care. Cameron's less enthusiastic outlook on the investment he's made. Despite his frustrations, he likens his relationship with Disney to that of a honeymoon phase, claiming that his interactions with executives and business people have been significantly more easygoing than those of his career decades earlier during productions such as Terminator 2. He claims that his newer, calmer version of himself, basically the more pussified version of him, right? I think we need to get James a tampon here pretty soon. He claims that the newer, calmer version of himself is a result of purging testosterone from his system, though he likely doesn't mean the literal hormone so much as the cultural standard of masculinity which breeds these toxic interactions. Okay, this is coming from a guy who was married 5 times. This guy was married 5 times. I think he was divorced all 5 times. So he couldn't even hang on to a single one of these chicks, right? They all divorced him, and as we know, women don't divorce guys who are alpha, guys who stand their ground, guys who put them in their place. No, they divorce guys who are blue pill, beta, that they can walk all over and that they have no respect for. Period. Okay? Even him, with all his power and money and Terminator franchise. Doesn't matter. Okay, moving on here. It says, regardless of Cameron's opinions on hormonal imbalances, it's nice to see him continue to grow and change as a creator while finding his zen as he nears his 70s. So he's basically becoming Grandpa Cameron. James Cameron's longtime friend, essentially he's lost his drive. Just say that. You've lost your drive to compete. That's okay. You're getting older. It happens to all of us. But don't try to conflate it with the fact that, toxic, masculinity needs to go after you've profited off of it. This is what I can't stand. The hypocrisy of the woke mob out there is they'll do stuff like this. It's like they become billionaires and millionaires off capitalism. Then they turn around and tell you not to do it. They turn around and tell people that they're rich people are evil, and they make it harder for you to become that, become successful. Unbelievable. So here he is saying, a guy who wrote on the coattails of toxic masculinity, produced films that were, dare I say, toxic masculine, now completely taking a massive dump on it. So he's saying, as an artist, he always seeks to find new and creative ways to push boundaries, referring to Cameron. Whether that means exploring the deepest depths of the earth in a cramped submarine or taking 13 years to finish a film because the technology to create the scene he wants just wasn't fully developed yet, that's where James Cameron operates best. Okay, now he's like talking about Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, I mean, essentially, I mean, that was basically it. But this is a guy who has just doesn't want to be masculine anymore and doesn't want to compete, and he thinks it's toxic because he's allowing himself to become pussified by the culture at large. I mean, it happens to billionaires, it happens to these giant filmmakers. I mean, this is the power of the blue pill. You know, they let all of this indoctrination eat them alive and take away their balls and hand their power over to women and the feminine. And this is obviously a dude who's been divorced, married 5 times, divorced 5 times, can't hang on to a woman. And he's thinking the way out of this, like any other blue pill guy out there, is to supplicate more to the feminine and to hand over his balls even more. So there you go. I mean, there's even another article here that's saying James Cameron, Avatar 2, he says it does female empowerment better than Marvel. So he's, praising the fact that his new Avatar film is helping women to become even more empowered because he has a warrior in this film who is 6 months pregnant in battle. So he is bragging about the fact that everybody's talking about female empowerment, but what is such a big part of a woman's life that we, what is it saying? Oh, he's saying if you're all going to go all the way down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, let's have a female warrior who's 6 months pregnant in the battle. So basically, one of his warriors in this Avatar 2 film is 6 months pregnant. So I guess this is what female empowerment is about: putting your unborn child at risk of death by you going into battle. Because that's the message I get from that. I'd be like, if I'm that unborn child in the mom's womb, I'd be like, can you sit your ass at home so I could be born, right? And I could have a chance? Can you just not be so selfish and push this woke narrative so I could have a chance at life too, Mom? But, of course, for these wackos in Hollywood, they think that this is, look, we're going to show how powerful women are. No, anybody with any sound mind and sound thinking would would just look at this as retarded, because why would you put your unborn child at risk, just to prove I'm the female warrior? But regardless, there goes James Cameron, another one you could add to the growing list of beta males in Hollywood who we probably thought at one point was alpha. He is no longer alpha. He is now a full-on blue pill beta, and he has now been compromised, and he is now shilling for the Matrix. As always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of James Cameron going full-on woke, full-on Hollywood beta here. Any comments you would like to add? Anything you'd like to say to Cash as he snores away behind the camera over here? Drop your comments below. And this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work, if it's making you a better man, a smarter man, a more educated and enlightened man, if it's helping you to see through the Matrix, best way to support my work is to become a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets program, which I'm hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. Obviously, that's to protect my content in case they try to shut me down one day, which they might. So you would want to become a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, where you'll find content that you won't find here on my regular free Alpha Male Secrets channel. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male Secrets content from me. So take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out, and I'll be back.